Hi, we're continuing on our quest to map and visit and photograph all the various Atlantic coast sugar mill ruins. This is the furthest south. We're in New Smyrna Beach. We're at the Cruger-dePeyster, if I'm pronouncing it correctly, sugar mill ruin. Built in 1830, burnt down 1835-36. Didn't have a whole lot of time to get up and running. Never came back into operation again. This is the farthest south of these plantation ruins. And an interesting side note for this particular plantation, or this particular area, it was here that the Menorcans were originally brought. And the difference between indentured servitude and slavery is you're paid. Basically, that's the basic difference. And you had some laws to protect you. As a slave, you had no laws to protect you. You weren't paid. The only reason you were fed and clothed was because you were an investment. As an indentured servant, you would have been an employee, but you would not have been free to do what you wanted to do. And you did have some laws to protect you. The owner couldn't just, or your master, whomever, whatever the term would have been, couldn't just go up and kill you for no reason, or beat you, or whatever the case might be. But as a slave, you could just be killed like a dog. You had no rights whatsoever. And it was from this area that almost 1,000 Menorcans made the trek after having been in these conditions for a number of years. I believe the figure was 10 years, up to 70 miles up the coast to St. Augustine. And we learned about that yesterday when we were visiting Tolomado Cemetery. And the docent there was explaining how that went down. And that's a very interesting fact. So it all started basically in this area. I'm not sure necessarily this particular plantation. Well, it couldn't have been this plantation because it was before then. But it was in this area. New Smyrna Beach is where we are right now. So this is where that started. And they went out, these Scottish guys went out and got these Mediterranean guys, Menorcans, to do this work, because they thought that they were more suited for it as opposed to the Scottish, because they weren't going to do that kind of labor. They figured they'd just get a bunch of guys who they thought of as lesser human beings to come over here and do this work. It didn't work out for very long. This is interesting. This is a lithograph of a painting, an 1843 painting made of this sugar mill ruin. So it shows you what? It's like a piece of coquina, like a display or something. It's pretty neat. It shows you two different smokestack chimneys, and here's a picture, early 20th century picture of where we are right now. So as you can see here from this artist rendering, 1843, this is much more extensive, but than what it is now. So it's quite a bit deteriorated. We're just going to take a brief walk around without too much more narration, and just sort of detail the ruins themselves. So. building over there?
I did.
What did they say it was? Or did it? I think it might have been a forge or a foundry or something.
Mm-hmm.
Was that what it was?
I didn't go over. I just videoed.
Oh.
I zoomed in.
Okay, cool. Narrative side note as we continue to film. These ruins, a lot of times people back in the day, in the early 20th century, late 19th century, thought that these were ruins of Spanish missions. Frequently see that. Didn't have the archaeological research or data or resources to be able to understand exactly what it was. And they just attributed it to being a Spanish mission. And another side note, we saw on that painting how open this area once was. None of these trees were around. This was open all around. And every one of these ruins that we run into, Bulow, Dummit, Yulee, which
one from yesterday, Malcolm.
Yeah, Malacompra, right. All of them back in the day were wide open for miles around, for as far as you can see. So I think it's important to know that or note that, because we see them now in basically a little oasis in the middle of the woods, and it's not that way.
A stray relic.